Welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to give you my experience of the Burhan Ghati trek which I've just finished in Himalayas. This was my second Himalayan trek after the Devaryatal Chandrashila trek, which I've also done with India Hikes. So I'll give you some of the key points, what I felt in this trek, how you should prepare for the trek, and what were some of the best parts from the trek, right? So compared to the first trek which I've done with India Hikes, which was in Uttaranchal, it was Devaryatal Chandrashila peak trek. The maximum altitude in that trek was 12,000 feet, while the maximum altitude in Burhan Ghati trek was 15,000 feet. Now, there were some differences in the geography as well as the sceneries of these two treks. In Uttaranchal treks, what I personally felt, and this can be totally personal, is that the greenery in the mountains is a lot less compared to Himachal Pradesh treks, right? And the water streams, the water in Himachal Pradesh is more abundant compared to Uttaranchal. The water streams, for example, were a lot more. There were plenty of water streams in Himachal, and these are all glacial water streams. The water streams are coming directly from the glaciers. So there are rivers from the glaciers and there are water streams from the glaciers. But we found it a lot less in the Uttaranchal trek. In fact, water was one of the main resources which we had to look for in the Chandrashila trek, because we have to always ensure that we're filling our water bottles from the campsites when we are trekking. But it was not an issue at all in the Himachal Pradesh Burhan Ghati trek. There were a lot of water streams on the way. We were always filling in water. So this was the main difference what I felt from the first trek, which was an Uttaranchal trek. But coming to the key good parts about the Burhan Ghati trek and how you should prepare for the trek. So if you're doing this trek with any of the trekking organizations that are well known in India, like India Hikes, and there are a few more, you don't have to worry a lot about a lot of things. For example, you don't have to worry a lot about your food. You don't have to worry about your camps, your tents, etc., and the weather, because they do their due diligence in getting the right weather forecast. You have a trek guide to guide you, etc. So I would recommend to not do this trek alone, especially any of the treks in Himalayas. If you're doing, don't do them alone. Do them with an experienced trekking organization, just like India Hikes. They make your experience a lot better, believe me guys, and you don't have to worry about a lot of things. So when you're going for these treks, which are high altitude treks, and high altitude meaning anything above 7,000-8,000 feet is high altitude, you have to prepare for this trek in a very specific way. Only then you can be ensured that you will enjoy the trek, because the treks are amazing. The views are mesmerizing. I mean, you don't get these kind of views in the plains or in the cities. You have to trek within the mountains to get these views, right? These are insane views. And I was so blessed that I completed this trek. But it was challenging, but it was worth it, because these views and these memories I'm keeping for my lifetime. So the Burhan Ghati treks starts from a place called Janglik, which is around 120 to 150 kilometers from Shimla. And the route to Janglik from Shimla is filled with beautiful sceneries and mountains again. A very specific type of vegetation starts on the way, which is the apple vegetation. You'll see a lot of apple forming, apple trees, and how the apples are produced at these heights. You'll get to experience that, and that is amazing. So the start of the trek was from Janglik, but we stayed at a place called Roru in Himachal Pradesh, and from Roru then the cab was booked to this village called Janglik by my trekking organization. And we were, then we reached Janglik. We went around the village. It was a beautiful village. It has a culture of its own, the kind of geography of its own, which was very, interesting to see. And then we started from there. So the first campsite was Daira. It was a meadow campsite. It was beautiful meadows. But the one thing to be highlighted in this trek was the geography. Like, there were beautiful stretches of moderate hikes, as well as kind of flatlands which goes through the forests in these meadows, but there were stretches where the boulder sections were there, and they kept coming, you know, after a certain phase. So boulder section is the section where you have to walk around those boulders for a stretch of 1 kilometer or half a kilometer, and it's kind of exhausting because you cannot walk straight. You have to kind of jump over these and, you know, kind of navigate your way around these, and also you have to be very careful that your leg doesn't slip in between these boulders, because it can be then really dangerous. You know, you can break a bone or get a very severe sprain. So this was one of the things what I felt was very challenging about this trek. And these sections of boulders were there right till the pass. So this was a 8-day trek, and every day we found some stretches of boulders, and it was very much on the last day of the trek. So when you are going for this trek, please do your due diligence in the exercise, preparing your body for this intense trek. Because what we saw on the trek, people who did not prepare for the trek really were exhausted, and they were a lot worried, they were a lot tired, and they were not able to enjoy the trek. But people who did their due diligence in terms of exercise, who prepared for the trek, were really enjoying the trek, and it was very smooth for them, because you have to be flexible and you have to have the stamina. You will be walking anywhere between 6 to 8 kilometers, and it was not a straight walk. It is up and down the mountains in the boulders, in the rain. So it is a lot exhausting. So you have to make sure that you build the stamina to enjoy those amazing views which you can only get from inside of the mountains. When you go inside the mountains, there's no road going there. There's only treks, right? And that's why we trek. So do that, and then you can be rest assured that you will be able to enjoy the trek if you have the stamina. Stamina is the most important thing. People worry a lot about acute mountain sickness or AMS, but that is a secondary concern. The first concern is the stamina. But on this trek, since it was a high altitude trek, so we, as a precautionary measure, we prepared for the AMS, and we did it by taking Diamox. Diamox is a tablet which kind of helps you adapt to the high mountains where the air density is less compared to the plains. So we did it as a precautionary measure, and after that we did not face any symptoms of AMS, which is tiredness and mental fatigue, etc., etc. So if you're going for the first time on this trek, take AMS, and there's no kind of as such side effect. We took half the tablet of Diamox from Jang Lake to the time we returned to the last river campsite, right? So do that, but also prepare with your workouts, which is recommended by your trekking organization also. So don't take it lightly. I do a regular workout in my gym, so I did not face any challenges. I did not particularly prepare for the trek, because anyways I was doing workouts. But there were some people on the trek who did not prepare, and they were not able to enjoy it very well. So this is one advice I would want to give you if you want to go for this trek. Apart from that, the trek was breathtaking. I mean, every day, the scenes, the cloud formations, the clouds below you see forming, these amazing meadows, the flora, the beautiful flowers, you know, all across the trek on different days. The beautiful glacial river you walk along when you go to the Chandrahan hike. It's amazing, guys. And especially the flowers on these mountains, they are amazing. They have an ecology, they have a niche there's an ecology going on of the mountains, which is, you know, not there anywhere else. I mean, there were very different birds, and there were these very different flowers, and there were even bioluminescent flowers which shine in the night, and you know, so it was amazing. It was right out of the world kind of an experience. And how the rivers were coming, you know, how the river and the waterfalls were going below the stones, below these boulders. It was amazing scenery. I mean, you cannot describe this kind of experience in words. And in the last day of the trek, you know, the last campsite was Dhunda. So it was the second last campsite. The last campsite was actually, but the last highest campsite was Dhunda, and it was at a high altitude. I think it's around 14,000 feet, and from there we had to trek to the Buran Pass and then rappel down on the snow. So the rappelling experience was also kind of for the main attraction for this trek. But to be frank, it was you've got to be careful over there, because then you have to slide down also. And when you're sliding down, first of all, when you're rappelling, it looks easy, but it's not like rock climbing. And believe me, I've done rock climbing before. So be very careful when you're rappelling down and sliding down this, because it can look enjoyable, but it can also be very dangerous, right? And then when you're coming down on the last day to the river campsite, it is the most longest day of the trek, and that is where your stamina will be tested to the most. Although the views were spectacular, but you felt tired, and especially what starts to happen is your toes will start to hurt, because your shoes, because when you're on the coming down the hill, right, there will be pressure on your toes from your shoes, because to make the grip, your feet will strike against the shoe and it will start to pain. So that is something to be careful. If you want to make it easy on you, carry some cotton and put some cotton on that, or some kind of a cushion under your shoe to make it comfortable for your toe. Apart from that, the trek was very enjoyable. There were amazing views which cannot be described in word. I'll be putting some pictures, and you can check out my vlogs, the 4-day vlogs which I've captured. And go for this trek, prepare for this trek, and it is once in a lifetime experience for sure. And I'll try to get this once again in my life. But it was amazing. It was without a doubt amazing, right? And everyone should do this at least once in their life, to enjoy the nature in this purest form. And the most beautiful there are some beautiful parts of the earth which are unexplored, and you will not be able to see if you don't make this extra effort to go trek between the mountains and then enjoy those views, right? So I hope you found this video useful, you liked it. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to the channel, and do give it a like, do press the like button as well, so that you're notified of any new videos as soon as I release them. Thanks again guys for watching this video. I'll see you again in my next video. Till then, take care, bye bye, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.